Hello everyone, here's Andrea from the channel Cristal y Rama, and I wanted to join a tarot hashtag created by wonderful Jeff from Tatoo'd Spirit. The hashtag is Hang 10 Tarot. This, I thought it was very interesting and also very challenging. So I've been thinking for a few days. I wanted to join in, enjoying the fun in this wonderful community, but I wasn't sure about how to articulate it. First of all, okay, it's supposed to be your favorite deck, and you have to choose at least 10 cards and see the interaction or how the characters in the cards use their left and right, like the receiving passive energy, and then the right is more the active, like feminine and masculine energy. I understand that concept, so okay, that's cool. But I was a little bit unsure because, first of all, I love Rider-Waite-Smith, but I don't think I can say it's my favorite deck because I love almost all of the decks that I have, and I love them in different situations for different aspects that I want to look at. So it's hard to choose just one, but I definitely love the Rider-Waite-Smith. It's my system is the one that I feel more comfortable with. And I have to confess that I couldn't watch the Jeff's whole video because he started to talk about the Rider-Waite cards as examples, and I was like, oh wait, I cannot watch this because I don't want it to influence me on how I may look at the cards, or what can I come up with watching the cards. So that I had to skip. I'm sorry, Jeff. I will watch it after. And also I wasn't sure about watching someone else's beer because the same thing. But yesterday I watched BCC, as Jeff says, Brian Beer, about the hashtag, and it really helped me. Also, he didn't use a Rider-Waite, so that was cool. That was fine for me. It really helped me to see it in a different way and inspired me. So I'm gonna try. I think it's kind of hard. It's really good, very interesting. Thank you, Jeff, for creating it. It's a great idea, but I think it's hard. Okay. Well, I'm gonna cheat a little bit too, because I'm gonna use two decks. One, of course, it's the Rider-Waite, because it was the first one I went to look at the cards and think about it. And I'm gonna use my new Rider-Waite that I got just yesterday, which is the Borderless edition, and I'm gonna use that one. And then I'm gonna use another deck, which is another new deck for me. I'm not very familiar with it yet. It's let me take the book. It's the Wildwood Tarot. I love everything Celtic, and I'm not sure why it took me so long to buy this deck, but I feel it's a little bit different, and I have to still read the book, and I have to study it better and study the cards more, but looking for that interaction between the left and the right, I realized this deck has a lot of potential. So I'm going to use both decks. First, I kind of structured this like in through groups. I just realized, preparing for the video, I realized this. And watching the cards, I also realized that I tend to look for the left being the more active side in the card, which is the opposite to what we are looking here and talking about. First, well, okay. So I realized there are some cards that are using staffs on the left side. So, for example, we have, well, the Rider-Waite, which we all know. He has the staff on the left side and the light on the right one. So for me, this is, he's holding the staff on the left and he's using that side to help himself. I should have looked for the translations before doing the video because I cannot think about the translations from Spanish to English. Sorry about this. But yeah, he's using the left to help himself. It's his strong side. And he's going in and analyzing and searching within himself for the answers and for clarity. And then that becomes, when it gets to the right, it's the light that illuminates his way. I hope I could explain that how I wanted and it makes some sense. And I also realized that also in the Rider-Waite, to see the other side, we have the Eight of Cups and the person has the staff on the right side. So the action, that's what I want to say. In the Hermit, for me, the action is inwards, so it's the left side that is doing the more active thing. And then it manifests in the right as the light. And on the Eight of Cups, the action is on the right because he's using that to walk out of the picture. To move forward, he's like using more the right. Okay, so that's one idea that I wanted to share. Then with the other deck, the Wildwood Tarot, I looked to some of the mayors and following the Hermit style, which is this one in the other deck. Also the staff on the left and the light on the right. And then I looked at, for example, we have the magician, here's the shaman, and he has the staff on the left. And he has the staff and also the left foot on the altar. Yeah, I think it's an altar. Again, I have to study this deck better, but for me, that's like kind of more active than the right one. That's what's supporting him. That's the word that I was looking for before. The left, it's the supporting side and also the action. Kind of, I think. Then the High Priestess in this deck is the seer. And again, the staff is on the left. This card looks more reflecting, more passive. She's also searching the connection inside. And then the strength. Yeah, it was a strength. This one, it's a little bit more confusing for me. Here's the Woodward. I hope I said that right. He has the staff on the left. There's some blood on the point of the stone point, or whatever you call it. Sorry. And he has a recipient, something on the right. I'm losing myself here. Well, okay, moving on. But the point here is that the left, it's like the supporting side and more active side for me in these cards. there's a point at the end of all this, I promise. It's just, again, it's hard to gather all these thoughts, but I'm trying. Going back to the rider weight, the other group for me, although I'm thinking it's going to the same way. Okay. Here there's 3 minor cards with the left as more active also. This one that I really like, the 9 of Pentacles. She has the right hand on top of one of the coins or pentacles, more like resting, more passive. And the left hand is up, and the attention of the card is drawn to the left hand with that bird on it. So again, seems like the left, which is normally the passive, it's more prominent here. She has already done the work, so now she's just enjoying the fruits of her labor. Another one is the Queen of Swords, which has, like most of the kings and queens, the element of their, in this case, the swords. The object of her element on the right hand, the active one, the action one, but for me, the action here it's on the left hand. She seems to be talking to someone, explaining something. And the right hand it's more relaxed. The sword is up, so it's still somewhat guarded, but I think the action is more on the left. And this one I thought it was really funny because all the queens and all the kings, but this one, have the object of their element on the right hand. But the King of Pentacles has the coin on the left. And he's more reflecting on it and thinking about how to use that pentacle and multiply it in a way that is long-term prosperity. But he's more reflecting on it, and the left hand is on top of the coin. So again, it goes to the left. And this is when I realized that I tend to look at the left as action 1 in the card. Does it make any sense? Some other cards in the Wildwood Tarot that I looked, and I thought the left was more prominent. It's, for example, the 10 of Bows, here's the 10 of Wands, and this person has the right hand holding the wands, and then with the left, he's using the left to support himself and also to move forward. So for me, again, the left, it's more prominent. Then the ancestor, it's the high priest, yeah. The ancestor in this one. And also I think it's a female, which I really like. Has that drum on the right side and that bone on the left. And although she's not doing it in the moment, but for me, she's gonna hit the drum with the left. So again, the action is in the left. 8 of Stones, 8 of Pentacles, is an artisan working the stone with the left hand. And here is the Judgment, if I remember correctly, is the Great Bear. And I also noticed that he has the left paw right in front, the entrance there. So, I'm getting closer to the point, I promise. I know this is confusing because it's confusing in my head, but I'm trying to make sense of it, okay? And if someone wants to help with that, I will be forever grateful. So the last group that I made here, I'm going to start with the Wildwood Tarot, and it has two cards that I think are absolutely beautiful. One of them is, I think, my favorite in this deck, which is the Lovers, the Forest Lovers, and the other one is the Two of Cups. And here I'm getting closer to my point. In these cards, it's kind of confusing, mixing opposites and completing one another. And also I see it as, and here's my point, interchanging the meanings and the energies of each side. So we have in the Lovers, they are, it's like a, what's the name? It's like a Celtic marriage. I cannot remember the word. She has the left hand and he has the right hand, and there's the knot, that's the union, and then they have the other hand on top of their heart, I guess. So, okay, for the female it's the left, and for the male it's the right together. And then in the Two of Cups, it's the opposite, kind of, because it's not the same scene. But I guess it's like the spark, the attraction, it's the hands up and that heart in the middle. And then the emotions they pour and they give to each other with the other hand down. So she has the left up and the right down, which is, yeah, okay, action. And he has the left down, giving, and the right up. It's kind of melting because it's a circle, it's a closed circle, closed circuit, no sé, sorry, some Spanish words slipping in. But yeah, and going back to the Rider, I choose two mayors to symbolize that integration. First, the strength. She's using both hands, but the left one is on top and the right one is down, but we can guess she's using both at the same time. And now Temperance. For this exercise, this one is my favorite because she's using the left to pour the water onto the right. And here's when I wanted to make the point. This is what sparked this idea in me, and then I kind of saw it in the rest of the cards. And I'm sorry again if this was a little bit confusing. But it was that idea that the left it's more receiving and passive, and the right it's more giving and action. Here for me it's the opposite. The left is given to the right. This made me think when I was a classical ballet dancer. I quit like 4 or 5 years ago. But yeah, all those years. A little bit like left-handed and right-handed. For me, when I did the turns, dancing, the pirouettes and the turns, my strong side was to the left, to turn to the left. Most people, their good side is to the right. So I was a lefty of turning, but everything else I do with the right. I was just original like that. The bad thing is when you're dancing with more people, with a group of people, if you're not corps de ballet, most of the choreographies have all the turns to the right. So when you're lefty, you have to work double to be as good to the right as you are to the left. And the injustice is that the people that are good to the right don't have to work the left to be the same, balanced. So yeah, you have to work double, but the good thing is that your body, it's more balanced and more calibrated, and that is what reminded me this, the left pouring to the right. That for me, it's the balance, the ultimate balance. Both sides need to interchange sometimes, because if we always stay polarized, there will always be a division and sometimes a confrontation. So I think to find the balance, we need to be able to change sometimes as we need to be completely a whole. Not only to find, like in here, the other person, if you are more, this is gonna sound weird, but more passive or more reflecting or more receiving, to find someone that complements you because it's more active or more giving or more, but first we have to find that in ourselves. And sometimes change the role. I hope it makes any sense. Anyway, it was very, very interesting to do this, and I really enjoyed it, and I love it, and I think I'm gonna keep looking into it and thinking about it. But yeah, well, I try to express that idea about it. I know it's not analyzing each card and having ideas from each card, so I'm sorry about that, but this is all I could think about and say, and it's already 23 minutes, so hope it made any sense. Thank you for staying. If you're listening to this and you're stayed all this way, thank you very much. And thank you, Jeff, for the hashtag. Thank you, Brian, for the beer, because I really loved it. And now I'm really glad because I can watch all the other beers from other people. Now I spit it out, and now I can watch the rest of the video. So thank you all, and till the next time. Bye.